it so that our policymakers and all citizens will be aware and we will put to practice. And my agric officers, let's not sit down. I know MAG is fading out. We should be, because MAG is fading out, we should be working in our own small way and our own little resources. Let's continue to teach our farmers and encourage them to adapt the technologies. Then our farmers too, please. Farming is a business and we all depend on farming. So let's also not go and sleep on what you are going to be taught today. After this workshop, please, let's practice this. Teach, share with our colleague farmers so that Ghana will be a safe place for us to be food secure. Once again, I welcome you all to this place and feel home. You are home. And if anything, don't hesitate to inform organizers. You have informed the stakeholders, those who are involved, if anything, and we pray that nothing of that will happen. Thank you very much, and welcome once again to Achuma Onwabieja. Thank you.
Thank you, Director, for this inspiring information, welcoming us, and also inspiring us to be good champions after this program, and also taking farming as a business. It is always key that we don't do just farming, but we make sure we see farming as business. When I was doing the introduction, I forgot one person, myself. And I'm privileged to introduce myself before my boss speaks. I'm Dr. Edmond Cheagutodanso, the Climate Change Adaptation Manager for the program. And I'm pleased to invite the National Programs Coordinator to make a speech and encourage us for this important event. Coordinator.
Full introduction and for introducing yourself, a very hardworking manager in GASIP, taking us through all this program. I'm also happy to see you all from different parts of the country. Hayuba is there, we're working together all the time. Banda, my own people from the Volta region. I come from a small village near Dabala. So I'm very close to my friends from Anglo. Thank you all. Now let me go to the structure speech, work done by Dr. Cheagutodanso. Representatives from the Environment and Climate Change Unit of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Center for No-Till here with us, Ghana Meteorological Agency staff here, officers and extension agents of the District Department of Agriculture, smallholder farmer organizations, leads, friends from the media, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to have you join us on this important workshop towards building champions in agribusinesses, value chains for climate change resilience, organized by the Ghana Agricultural Sector Investment Program. This workshop aims at identifying champions and building their capacities among agribusinesses, farmer-based organizations, and other partners for climate change resilience. And if I'm talking about the champions, you are the champions here. The champions will be going through a 4-day residential training to enable them to become ambassadors, and the word here is ambassadors, who will be engaging and sensitizing stakeholders, especially farmers, on climate change and environmental sustainability within their groups, communities, and even schools and faith-based organizations. The Ghana Agricultural Sector Investment Program, GASIP, is being implemented by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture and funded by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, with a loan of $36 million and Smallholder Agriculture Program, that is ASAP, with a grant of $10 million coming from ASAP. The Adaptation for Smallholder Agriculture Program, ASAP, is IFAD's flagship program for channeling climate and environmental finance to smallholder farmers. The objective of GASIP is to sustainably reduce poverty in rural Ghana by increasing profitability and resilience to climate change of agribusinesses and smallholder farmers. The status of implementation in the first 4 years of GASIP, that is between 2015 and 2019, was only at 12%. The implementation for 4 years was at 12%. However, and because of that, the program was going to be closed by IFAD for non-performance. However, when the current management took over in 2019, the performance rose from the 12% to 76% by February 2020. That is in less than 1 year. IFAD therefore reclassified the program from a non-performing to a performing program. I thought you were going to clap for us. The current implementation status stands at 86%. This was achieved by supporting smallholder farmers and creating shared values and opportunities within the value chains of rice, maize, soya, and vegetables. GASIP also invested in capacity building and training of smallholder farmers in good agricultural practices and climate change resilience technologies. The GASIP design leverages on private sector resources and expertise in making the smallholder farmer competitive by increasing their efficiency and resilience to climate change through the provision of appropriate technologies, rural infrastructure, and gender transformation, including equal participation of women, youth, and young adults. I believe that the representation here shows that. GASIP, over the last 2 years, has achieved some remarkable successes which need to be emphasized. GASIP has heavily invested in rural infrastructure by providing roads to link farmers to markets, providing solar-powered boreholes to communities for dry season vegetable production. We have installed weather stations to provide accurate and timely weather information, and we have also developed 600 hectares of irrigable rice land for smallholder farmers. GASIP has distributed tractors, power tillers, and small rice harvesters to more than 628 communities throughout the country. And we are ready to do more if you are partnering. GASIP has also supported over 150,000 farmers with farm inputs, including training, and if I say farm inputs, I'm talking of high-yielding seeds and good fertilizers to 150,000 farmers. We have also trained farmers on good agricultural practices, which I just mentioned, climate change resilience, food safety and food quality management, agribusiness excellence training, food processing, among others. GASIP has also partnered agribusinesses to provide market access to smallholder farmers, subscribing them to receive market price information from the Ghana Commodity Exchange. During the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, because of the good performance of GASIP, IFAD nested a new project which is called Emergency Support to Rural Livelihoods and Food Systems Exposed to COVID-19. This program was nested under GASIP. Through the ESRF, which is the short form of it, GASIP distributed improved seeds and fertilizers to more than 20,000 smallholder farmers across the country. We also arranged for $1.85 million to be disbursed to through the Gender Ministry and WFP to extremely vulnerable farmers, including people living with disability from 9 poorest districts of the country. As mentioned above, since 2019, GASIP, with the support of key stakeholders such as the Regional Directorate of Agriculture and the corresponding district departments, has provided support, input support, and capacity building to the program's targeted beneficiaries, especially the smallholder farmers. This year, the consequences of the Ukraine-Russian war have limited farmers' access to many global input supplies, especially fertilizer. You know, we are not going to be getting fertilizer as we are getting. And even if you get these fertilizers, the prices are going to be very, very high. This is the time, therefore, that the various climate-smart agricultural technologies we have been promoting become very relevant. Because now we don't have the fertilizers. How are we going to maximize the trainings we have so that we are able to utilize them to still sustain productivity? The technologies and management practices include the following: appropriate land preparation, that is no or minimum tillage, no burning, use of climate resilient seeds, appropriate nutrient and fertilizer management, appropriate planting methods, right spacing, row planting, appropriate and timely weed and pest control, timely harvesting of produce and good storage practices, diversified cropping, that is crop rotation, intercropping, cover cropping, permanent soil cover with crop residues, live fencing, fire belt creating, operation of group charter, and no bush burning around the communities. These are some of the practices we have been learning, which you, the champions, need to uphold to the communities you are operating in. Indeed, you have another opportunity through this workshop to empower yourselves to serve as climate change champions within your respective operational areas, and also build a network of climate change champions through whom virtual and other forms of climate change capacity building can be channeled. Let me use this opportunity to thank our main collaborators for this intervention, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, especially the Environment and Climate Change Unit, the Center for No-Till Agriculture, the Ghana Meteorological Agency, who are here with us, and all our partnering district departments of agriculture. We say Aiko to all of you. The main plea to you, our main implementing partners, is to practicalize our sustainability mechanism and leverage on the trainings and input support extended to farmers in the past, so that farmers are able to go into production and follow the recommended protocols. I encourage you to keenly participate in the workshop to enable you to become ambassadors and champions, or even experts in your various organizations and workplaces. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
And a coffee break, and then we can start the main event for the day. And for that reason, I want to explain what we'll be doing, particularly today, and then summarize the next days. Today, we are going to explore the challenges at your various locations. We are going to have the same event in Damango next week, where the districts from the northern part of Ghana will be meeting. You were segregated to be here, and also have the feel of a practical session in Nkawie, which is a little bit closer to the situation where you are coming from. But what you'll be doing today after the coffee break is for you to talk, to tell us the challenges, especially the environmental challenges that you face at your location. We do believe that it may be similar, but we want to hear you talk about it. The reason why we want to hear you is, as we indicated, we are building champions, we are building leaders who will go and lead our farmers who are challenged with the environment. So we need people who can lead, who can talk, and who can facilitate these farmers that we work with. So that will be basically what we'll be doing today. After exploring your challenges, the facilitators here, who basically understand the issue also, will take rounds and chance to explain to you the various mitigative, adaptive measures that you can take, and you can take home. And then tomorrow we will go to the Amantia to practicalize some of the things that we will be talking about today. So without wasting more time, we will be moving towards this entrance. We will arrange ourselves at this area to take a group picture with the facilitators and the project coordinator. After the photo taking, he will be leaving us. He has another assignment, national assignment. He's going to Wenchi and also Techiman and Wenchi, and he may join again within the course of the week. So we want to take a photo with him and the team up there, and then come back for a coffee break and then continue the actual session. So let's move straight. We can use here. Okay, you have a question here. Let's wait.
Thank you. My name is please, before you take the video, I would like to ask you a question for the
Okay, yeah, if you can ask me, and if it's beyond me, then I'll take it to him. Yes.
Yes, I'm from South Carolina, to be precise. And we're organizing farmers for all the time. We complain on the farmers that have been mechanized farming. That's what I'm saying. We are lacking behind.
Okay. Okay. Can we, if it's a challenge, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the next session we are going to talk about this one.
I just want to summarize something.
No, I mean we are going to have a session for that one, right? I believe you want to talk to him or yes. So don't keep the question away. You will present the same question. He may stay for some time. Maybe you will be the first person to talk so that he can answer. But like I said, if I'm not able to answer it, I will pass it to him to handle it. So just keep the question, we will continue. So can we please move outside for the group picture? Thank you very much. To tell us about the challenges that you are having. It's not just about challenges. Sometimes when you go for programs, when you talk about challenges, people are happy to talk. In all cases, we want to know what even you have been doing first. Because there are some challenges that we don't even need the facilitators the facilitators to be the one to tell you what to do. Your colleague can probably tell you even the best way to handle things. But of course, the facilitators will be around to help us with that. So I need facilitators. Just give me a minute so that I can call them to join us. I see some few empty spaces. I know where he is. Please, where is snack is in, so we will do the coffee break and before we come. We have, it's 9:51, and we start the next session at 10:30. It's a lot of time, more than 30 minutes, so we are starting exactly at 10:30. We will have the snack, we will pick and have it around, stand around and have it. Then if you want to use the washroom, please, you enter the door here. There are 2 washrooms there. One is written as Queens. It's for the ladies, and Kings is for the men. So there's a little bit challenge on how to flush the toilet. So when you get there, see, you may have to draw it from the inside to be able to let it work. So we can use there if you want to use the washroom. Inside there will be where you'll be having our lunch. For the coffee break, we can have it around. Now, whilst you're having the coffee break, let's start talking to ourselves, knowing ourselves, and learning from each other from now. Thank you very much. We start the next session at 10:30. How are they taking the snack? Okay. So they are now setting it up and then you can come out for it. Because after the whole challenges are summarized, then we will give the floor to them to advise us. We still have 10 minutes or 15 minutes to be 10:30 like we said, so that we can start. So just use the time to meet your officer or your farmer to understand what you'll be saying to us as ambassadors for climate change.
Jesus Christ is not here, Muhammad is not here. Nobody here can read your mind unless you tell it. So please, we do not expect people to keep quiet here. If that is the case, then tell us and we end it here. And what we give you the assurance that no matter the challenge, unless it borders on policy, if it has to do with weather, the people that you have been hearing on television, you have been seen on television, you've been hearing on radio, they are here. So please, let us know what is happening. And we also assure you that if it has to do with production, if it has to do with challenges related to what there is to do to build resilience on the farm, this is the right place for you. So please, let us all put ourselves together. And when you get up here, let us get each other. And we will be responding to those in the afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Boss. I indicated I wanted to start from Ashanti. I have changed my mind. I want to go alphabetical order. So if your district is far away or starting with an A, then you should be, you know that you'll be the first to call. So the first district we want to call I think the first district know themselves. Can we see Afajato? Afajato. Yes.
I'm Lucy Zodba from Afajato South. Okay. And this is my farmer, Madam Rose Adaptation.
Can't hear you.
Zodba from Afajato South.
I'm Rose Adichi from Afajato South.
Okay. Yes, so with the climate change, we've also noticed it in our district. We have realized that some years back, we used to have a lot of rains. We have 2 seasons. That is a major season, which starts from March to June. We have a little break around July. That is where we do our harvesting, drying and all that. Then the minor season sets in. That is August to December. But these days we have realized the change in our rainfall pattern. And so climate change is having serious effects in Afajato South. And our area, we do a lot of tree felling. So we know that that is one of the biggest challenges. Bushfire is also one of the serious challenges we are battling. But as a Department of Agric and Agric officers, Extinction officers for that matter, this is what we have been doing. Educating farmers, especially on bushfire, that they should stop burning. Because it's the same farmers who come complaining how dry their lands are. And with that education, I can say that by the grace of God, we are doing well. Farmers have come to realize that zero tillage is the way to go. Most of our places are the mountainous areas, which tractors cannot even go. So what they do is, some use the glyphosate to spray and then allow it to decompose. They do their planting. Others also slash the fresh grass, allow it to dry up. They do their spraying and planting. And with that, it is helping. In terms of maize, planting in lines is a popular thing in Afajato South. Almost, if not all, but I can say that they understand planting in lines, which is part of something that will help in the climate change, because we believe in plant population. So as they do that, the planting lines, they are able to manage their farms well, and the yield is improved. Rice, we do a lot of rice. Afajato is a rice growing district. The rice, with the zero tillage, we are doing well. Our biggest challenge is planting in lines. Farmers complain how tedious it is to plant in lines. And so that is the biggest challenge, which should have been one of the good things, if they are able to do, to help in climate change, curbing climate change. Because when you plant in lines, we have demonstrated to them, we have done demonstrations in various communities to show them, and they have seen it clearly, that because of this climate change, that we are not getting much as we are supposed to get. Planting in lines, they are able to get a good, what do you call it? The production is high in terms of planting in lines. Unlike the normal broadcasting they do. They broadcast, some broadcast and slash the grasses on top of it and leave it at the mercy of the weather. Some, the sun dries some up, they are not able to germinate. The grass cutters, the rodents will pick some, and some also are forced to germinate in their own way. And so you realize that healthy crops is a problem, and the yield too is low. Plant population is a serious problem when broadcasted that way. But it is the easiest. And so when the farmer calculates, because with lack of machines that will do the transplanting and the planting, they go the easiest way by broadcasting. And so our yields, we are not getting the yield we are supposed to get compared to someone who is planting in lines. And so that is one of the challenges.
So I want to pause here, else other people will not get anything to talk about. Because at the end of the day, I'm very sure we will be coming to a similar situation. So I want the others to cover the other areas. Yes, you can talk about some of the things that we are supposed to, but don't stress on it a lot. I mean, you can just indicate that some of the issues also happen, especially the few ones that we are taking time to explain well. So thank you very much. I know there are still other challenges.
Seth Awito, and I'm Charles, a farmer. We are from Angloga District, Volta region. And Angloga District is a district along the coastal belt. And then the challenges we face there, one is that the soil is a sandy soil, which is porous. So it makes it that if the farmers apply fertilizer, a lot of the fertilizers leach down. And at that place, they use a lot of organic fertilizer. Second one is the sea breeze. The sea breeze affects the production a lot. At Angloga, is the vegetables are the most crop that we did there, or we do there. And then at times you go into the production and then the sea breeze come, and then will come and take all of the crops, and all the crops will die. And that place too, we experience only one pattern of rainfall, which means the rainfall doesn't come frequently. That one too is something that is affecting us a lot. And then we use underground water a lot, and at times too the salt, the salinity will enter the water, and then the water will be salty, which is not good for the crops. And then about the AEAs and then the farmer relationship is like the problem as we agric agents we have. The farmers are not really to be in the group to let us educate them vividly on some of these things. Because of their schedule, a lot of work, they don't have time. They will tell you they don't have time. So we struggle a lot to do our maximum best. So my colleagues will...
Okay. In addition to all the problems my friend outlined, you also have, sometimes at the beginning of the season, you will get acid rain that will affect your crop. And then, in addition to that, we have the problem of high electricity costs. Normally, for so many years, we are pleading with the past government and even with the present government to make the tariff domestic. Normally, they charge commercial rate for the farm, which is not very conducive for farming. Already, my friend mentioned the use of organic matter in the area. And the problem we face there is the organic matter, cow dung like this, currently is costing about 9 cedis per bag, which is very high for the farmers. Some time ago, they introduced mopuna, which is a leguminous plant, which can help the farmers to improve the soil. But as of now, we don't have even the seed to crop and then incorporate into the soil to improve the soil. Because of the nature of our soil, which is very sandy and very, very poor, all the time you have to apply the necessary techniques so that you'll be able to improve the soil, the soil nutrient level. We also have the problem of difficult weeds like Saperos, which is a very difficult weeds in the area. Saperos. So that one too, Saperos, that one too is a problem over there. And we do all year round farming. We crop crops like okra, onion, shallot, tomato, pepper, spring onion, carrot, sometimes maize, and then cassava. So, in very brief, this all we have for, this all the problems we outlined as being the major challenges we face over there. Thank you.
Last one to add, we face a marketing problem at our district. So,
thank you very much. You'll be taking your notes for the purpose of report writing. So I'll pick the summarized notes from the presenters. We are 24 districts, so we need to organize things well, else the challenge, you will listen to the challenges and not get time to answer them. So we will want 5 minutes. Is 5 minutes okay to present your district challenge? We are giving solutions, what we are doing as our various areas. Okay. So I'm thinking that you are talking about challenges. This is my challenge. Okay. The solution will come. Facilitators, what do we say? This is my challenge. Yeah. Okay, so there are several challenges. There are also
in CA adoption in Adaptation. One, birds normally uproot the seeds during planting. Two, it is very, very difficult to plant because the stalks of the trees and other. So when you are planting, normally it hits the sticks. Then tractor challenges, because we have tractor that will do the plowing for us. Marketing has been mentioned. Then high cost of inputs, farm inputs, and then we also have flooding challenges. And then the weather. Our zone, we have 2 zones. We have the forest and then the savannah. With the savannah, we find very, very difficult for it to rain over there. So if maybe we can do something over there for us. Thank you.
You want to ask something?
Thank you. The Fulani people, they normally disturb us so much. After when it gets time of harvesting, they normally bring the animals on the farm. If you are to talk, sometimes, if you are not lucky, they will shoot you. That is the biggest problem that we face.
Thank you, Asante.
So I'm the AEA and he's a farmer. Challenges that we face at Esoja Mine, we have seasonal bushfires, and also we have the incidence of Fulani herdsmen in our district. We also have illegal chainsaw operators, those who cut trees for timber, and then also those who cut trees for charcoal. We also have the incident, we lack accessible roads to our farms, which is a major challenge. My farmer also add his. Thank you.
Yeah. Farmers use excessive chemicals in spraying on their crops, especially when spraying weedicide. They add salt to spray on the grass, so it causes the land agrochemicals, and also overgrazing on our land lead to erosions. Thank you.
Thank you. Atebubu, please, after Atebubu, Achumanwa Biaja will follow. 5 minutes.
Eric Abuaji.
Challenges that we face at Atebubu and its surroundings. 1. Market for the produce. 2.
Especially vegetables and fruits.
Market for the produce, especially vegetables and fruits. High cost of tractor service. Standard scaling is another problem. Stubborn weeds like amedufa.
We have
take this one.
A local name for it.
Amedufa.
Amedu Farms. It's a grass.
Amedu Farms.
Amedu Farms.
Yes.
They came from Amedu.
Yes.
Okay.
That one, no chemical that you spray.
That can kill it.
Can deal with it.
Okay.
Yes, it's a weed.
Grass-like weed. No, not Taperos. No.
It's a grass.
It's a creeping grass.
Or it doesn't come from.
Rodents.
Rodents. Another problem is rodents.
What?
Rodents. Infestation, yeah. They pick
the seedlings or the
seeds. Yeah.
After planting them.
And then this is linked to the spraying
the frequent spraying of
no, the farmers, they do a lot of spray. So the food that they would have fed on, is being deprived of, and then they just take the seeds.
Idleness of farmers in the lean season due to lack of irrigation facilities. Idleness of farmers in the lean season due to lack of irrigation facilities.
And then
Thank you. Yeah.
indiscriminate stamping of trees
Yeah,
by farmers. Thank you.
Yeah, done.
Your director is here.
Good morning. I'm Agric Clement, AE.
I'm Dauda Sebi, farmer.
We're here to list few challenges that we face in Adwuma municipal. A lot have been said. We are going to add very small. The first challenge is galamsey. Galamsey operators. It's become very high incidence of galamsey issue over there. And because of that, a lot of the youth are moving to galamsey instead of farming. Because over there they can get at least sometimes 1,000 or 500 a day. For by day, as she said, 25 to 30 cities. Because of that, they don't want to go into farming and then that sector any longer. And so the landholders to try to give their lands to the galamsey operators instead of the farmers, because over there they will get more than what the farmer will buy. So this is a very big challenge that we face there. And then illegal chainsaw operators are also there. They tend to cut the trees for other purposes. They do sell the logs and so on and so forth. I think what we have here have been said already, so we end here.
Which one is emergency?
Please, I'm Dominic Sarkodie. Please, I'm also GASIP. From Banda. I think our colleagues have said most of our challenges, but one thing we want to stress on is the hot nature of Banda. The temperature there is very, very hot. So from January to December, the place is very hot. So it will interest you to know that during the dry season, all the streams in Banda dries up. So farmers have to take water to farm. So during spraying and all those things, in fact, it's a big challenge in Banda. And then because the rain also delays, planting also delays. And when it comes to markets too, because the crop delays, farmers don't get good prices. So I think basically these are and then pest infestation, cashew pest. When the cashew is fruiting, we have a certain pest. They come to the cashew and then chew the fruit. So that is also a big challenge. And then invasive weeds. Because the place is hot, it's now bringing new leaves, weeds. New weeds are coming up. So that is also another challenge. I think basically these are the challenges. For the name, we have local names. So what? More local names. Yes.
It's very difficult because if you mention it, we like Chitano, they say, very hard to say.
You don't have to describe it. You just get to know Just a little bit about that.
Yes. Weeds like Twitter, there are some weeds at Bana, they are very difficult and they are destroying our land too.
Yes.
Okay, if you are done, let's Ejura.
You Ejura.
No, Ejura.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lai Sua.
I am Bonifat.
Yeah.
Are you particular?
Okay. The problem that we have from our district. Okay. Are not different from what our colleagues have mentioned so far, but a peculiar one that I want to make mention is, since Dr. Boa is here, we have hard pan of the topsoil in Nigeria. So it's a very big challenge to us. And then the second one is a weed called the Adaptation. Yes, when you use chemicals to spray, it does not want to die. So it's a big challenge to us. And then another one is the access to land for farming. It's also a big challenge to us so far in Nigeria. These are a particular ones that I would like to mention.
Yeah. I'm Ayuba Jubrela, a farmer from Edra. These are some of the challenges that. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Ayuba Jubrela from Edra, a farmer. These are some of the challenges, with the farmers in Edra. Yeah, some of the challenges with the farmers in Edra faces. Poor storage facilities.
Poor storage facilities.
Yeah. Unavailable of good quality of seed. Unavailable of good quality of seed. And the last is lack of storage facility for the farmers. Thank you.
What was the last one?
Lack of storage facility for the farmers.
Lack of storage facility. Okay, thank you.
I'm Yabu Amensa Michael, Gomwa East. My farmer. Our first challenge is erratic rainfall. Most times when our farmers, they farm maize a lot, but at the time of tasking, the rain will cease. So everything that they have put in the farming will most times go wasted. And the second challenge is activities of sand winning and estate developments. When we are coming, our district is a fast developing district from Accra, Kasua, and Ewutu, and we are going to our district. So the activities of sand winning and estate developers are also a big challenge in that area. And the incidence of disease and pests for vegetable farmers. Most of the vegetables that are going to Accra are from our districts. They do a lot of vegetable production because of ISU that they use as source of irrigation. We are also blessed with irrigation facility. You can go there and you see Ocheko rice irrigation, very big, and they are doing very, very well. But their major challenge is flooding. Recently, they had their dike broke, so whenever it rains from Aguna and Yakro area, all the water from that area will flood their rice field.
So that's also a major challenge in that area. And because of that, the continuous farming in that particular area, they also have the salty soil for the rice farmers. So these are a few. A lot of them are among those, the ones our colleagues have said. So this is the work that we have.
Thank you, Gomwa. Can we give a hand to Gomwa? Whole West. After Whole West, we go to KJB, K2 North, K2. We have K2 South. Okay, K2 North. After Whole West, K2 North.
Yeah. I'm Richmond Horsey Agric from Whole West, and my farmer.
And Godwin Double, a farmer.
A lot of the challenges have been said by our colleagues already, and to add some of them that have not been said from our district to it. We have high cost of transportation of goods to our various farms. Then high cost of labor in the area. Then the tractor service system. Tractor. Like, we don't have tractors in the area. Oh, we have said that one already. Then the land tenure system over there is a very big challenge. And poor use of agrochemicals is one of the factors. If you can have some for it.
Poor use of chemicals affecting the farmer. Farmer have our water bodies and affecting the ozone layer too. We have a challenge there when we produce maize. We call that disease aflatoxin. How to control it becomes a problem for us. And then we have our landowners have a killer problem at our place. When we prepare the land, because we produce enough rice there, after preparing the land, then the landowner will come in, then he wanted his land back. And the expenses all over there is gone. And in terms of our marketing, I think we are appealing to the government to introduce scaling of our farm produce. Because sometimes when we have okra, we go to market, a full bag of okra, the price of market women will price lower as a farmer expected. So we are sending this to the top hierarchy to do something about scaling of our product in various markets. Thank you.
Okay. Then one factor too is the high inputs of agriculture materials. Inputs, yes. Inputs cost of the agricultural materials. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kintampo. Please, let's be taking notes. When they finish, if there's something that has not been captured from all the lists and is happening in your district, you can come back and say, Kintampo Municipal. Okay, please come. After Kintampo, we go to Afan Plains, and then... Okay. Okay, KJB, K2 North. Yes, please. KJB and K2 North will follow.
We are from the KJB district, and I think almost every challenge that we have stated here has been mentioned. I'll only add just 2-3 ones. The lack of machinery services, and then undeveloped rice fields in the KJB district, and then some poor farm roads, which is affecting the transporting of farm produce from the farm to some selected markets. And then I want to add one thing. As far as the climate change is concerned, my farmer here, Jacob, has been doing very well using conservation agricultural techniques. He is a rice farmer, and then after the season, he uses farm and then uses rice straw as a mulch to spread on the field and then produce cultivate cucumber and then okra for several times, and then these profits that he has been gaining from it has been using to push into his next, which is the main season rice production. And then it's a difficult thing though, because some developed rice farms under the RSSP project, they have these things, but then he has been sticking to it for more than 5 years or so, and then it has been helping him. So I just want to applaud him here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Our challenges, I'll say most of them have been mentioned.
Okay, you are all from Ketu North.
We are all from Ketu North.
Okay, then you give them time. They give them double time.
I would say they have mentioned most of our challenges already on the platform, but just let's mention them for you to hear. That's tractor services is inadequate. We have inadequate fertilizer as an issue. We have low fertility, low soil fertility in the area, and we have low price of farm produce. And then erratic rainfall issue has also been mentioned. It's also a challenge in our area. And then lack of proper storage is also an issue. And then we have land tenure system also as an issue. What was not mentioned was that I could recall farmers came with a complaint that GASIP gave them some rice cutter machines to help them harvest their rice. But unfortunately, the implements were not adequate. They have an implement, a machine has got 3 parts, but each machine was just given 1 implement. And if they go to the farm to use it, they find it difficult to handle it. So it's also an issue there, so the authorities should take a look of that. Irrigation is also a problem there. We have our dugouts that stores water for us. We need desiltment and then at least reshaping to avoid the water running over it to flood our rice farm, thereby leading it to overlodging. To continue, we have an issue with our rice when we harvest. So we need a dryer for the rice. We have a weed, a particular weed. I don't know what the names colleagues have mentioned. I don't know if they refer to the weed in our area. We call it, in a way, we call it pampruba, literally means bamboo weed. It's a particular weed that when you look at the leaves, it looks like bamboo leaves. That is how it is. You spray all the chemicals in the world, it will rather grow bigger and stronger on your farm. So it's a challenge to us. So I would say on that note, that's what we have. But just to add a quick one, we would need something like a helping hand from authorities, like for irrigation, for pumping machines, and then pipes, and then water for me hose that we use for irrigation, especially for the vegetable farmers. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any of the team want to add something to it?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
We've also realized though we have 2 cities, that is the middle of the mine, but the past 2 years, we realized that is a mine. So when we start with the middle, if you are not lucky, you will not have a place to catch this mine. And that is something we are having with the climate cost.
So I think on that note,
okay,
we end it here.
Yes, thank you, K2 North. Yes. Now we go to Kintampo. After Kintampo, we will do Peru, Afan Plains, Nkwanta North, and then Sene West will continue. Kintampo.
Thank you, Doc. Good morning once again. As earlier on mentioned, most of the things have been captured or said by the other districts. One of our challenges in Kintampo has to do with cattle grazing on farmlands. When they do that, they intend compacting the soil. And once that is done, one of the objectives of GASIP is either we have zero tillage or minimum tillage. So when the soil becomes compacted, it is always difficult to practice that. Another thing they do when they go and graze on that land is to release methane, which is sometimes not also good. The second one has to do with when there is long dry spells, we realize that grasshoppers, they will go and be feeding on some of the crops. Another issue has to do with the bushfires and then appropriate planting distance. There has been an emergence of this creeping grass. We are told that it is being produced by the cow dung, which is hampering the progress of crops in our area. There are a lot of them, as I said, being mentioned. I would like to leave the rest with my farmer so that you also adapt to. Thank you.
Yeah. Another challenge is, because of time, let's make it very few. Last year, for instance, we had a serious challenge in the area. We have a very big land for rice. And farmers are so happy to do more rice. But if you do rice, during harvesting time, no laborers to help you. And because of, and then there's also no harvesters. So last year we had a lot of challenges. When we came to a harvesting time, only one combined harvester came to the area to harvest. And because of plenty people were also chasing the machine to harvest, he increased the cost so much. In the beginning it was 350 cedis per hectare. Within 2 weeks, he increased another 50 cedis. And unfortunately, people were still chasing the machines. But a very short time, he reduced the acre. Listen, instead of 3 acres, you will say 5. And by means you have to pay. So at the end of the day, some farmers could not even get, their rice harvest. So it became waste and then.
Okay. Please, let me just add this one. It's very important. We are having issues with climate resilience. I don't know if you can work on that for us. Thank you. Because they are not just there. And the few ones that are there are very expensive. Thank you.
Okay, so it's there but expensive?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Peru, Afan Plains. After Afan Plains, Nkwanta North, Sene West, Shao Sudoku, Saudai.
My name is Gosri from Nkawie from South. Nkawie from South is a transitional zone surrounded by Afram River and white water. The effect of climate change that we experience there includes shifting seasons, That is to say, if this year the season starts in March, the following year it can start in April, then the following year, so you cannot predict. So we have shifting season. And the shifting season has caused farmers to have several farms because you don't know which one will do well. So they also farm along as a lottery. If this one fails, the other one might succeed. Then we have emergence of new species of weeds. Example, fine boy. It's very, very difficult to control. It's causing economic damage to crops. The local name is fine boy. The leaves look like panicum, but it doesn't grow tall, very short. Another problem we're experiencing is extinction of fish species, and then extinction of local breeds. There's some local breeds of seeds that we had due to the harsh conditions. Sometimes season you are finding seed to plant, you can't find them. Then we have flooding problems with the drawback farmers. Flooding is their challenge. And secondly, the drawback farmers, the winds that blow from the river breaks all their pepper farms at the drawbacks. We also have compaction and cracking of soil surface. Wherever we have clay soil, then we are having there is declining soil fertility in the area. Okay, you can add some.
Okay. To us, we have a deforestation problem, cutting down of trees at our place, and then the quality of produce have reduced.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have Nkwanta coming. Nkwanta. After Nkwanta, Sene West.
Hello. I'm Emmanuel Kanabo, Nkwanta North, Otu region.
Patience, Nkwanta North.
As we are all concerned about this, all the problem they've mentioned is cut across. But I have to bring two or three addition to what you've mentioned. In our area, we have low clay in our soils. Low clay. Yeah, clay is low in our soils because when you raise, maybe within 3 days, the soil becomes compacted. Low clay. Yes, low clay content. And then we have poor waste management, especially polythene films and then empty agrochemical containers, which I think in the long run to affect our arable source. And then the lack of permanent source of water in some communities. Some communities are very good to carry out the minor season or the irrigation farming. But because they don't have a permanent source or water source, they are not able to carry it out.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Sene West.
After Sene West, Shai Osudoku, South Dine, South Tong, Sunyano West, Techiman, and then Wenchi.
My name is Raf. These are our challenges in Sene West. High cost of labor scarcity, alien herdsmen, poor road network, inaccurate weather forecast, prolonged drought, and we have these noxious weeds that we are now experiencing in our area. The local names are the John Mahama, and another one called we will surely communicate to the appropriate officers when we get strong winds bushfire, soil infertility due to overplowing and the bushfire problems. And there is this molly rats, rodents called molly rats, that is now destroying most of our yams under cultivation. And inadequate AEA to farmer ratio is a challenge in my district.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you very much. If you get to know the other week, please let us know. They will call it Akufuado. Yes. Shao Sudoku. Southern, please prepare.
Shai Osudoko District, NS James Kofi, the officer.
Please, I'm Jacob Ajamade, a farmer.
Yeah, Shai Osudoko District, may say, is the food basket of Greater Accra. We have a lot of problems that few is mentioned. We would like to add 6 more to it. Let me pick it from increased cost of production, which is cost of farm inputs, seed, fertilizer, and agrochemicals, including tractor services. That is 1. With 2, we have poor rainfall patterns. 3, low yield. 4, low farm income due to the increased cost of production. Then we have increased post-harvest losses. 6, diseases and pest disease. Diseases and pest control. The diseases, let me say, BBS in mango, blast 2 in rice production. Then we have this army worms too that is destroying maize a lot. Then red ants, we normally give them local name that chastela, disturbing us a lot. The farmer can please add something.
The last one I can add is sometimes the farmer is ready to work and the rains will come at better time, but lack of sponsorship. Sometimes farmers cannot do what they are supposed to do.
Thank you very much. Can we do Southern? I need to see another person. You are the VCD.
Yes, my farmer, my AA.
Yes.
He's there by his house with the night.
Okay.
My name is Eric Adai, a farmer and a VCD from Southern. All right. Most of the challenge has already been listed, but in our area, most of our farmers today practice monocropping. They don't practice afforestation, and the few trees that we overprune them for firewood and overutilization of fertilizer. We also don't practice organic manure as people are doing in the Keta and the Angloga area. And one other challenge I want to mention is the solution sometimes proposed by our intellectuals. The solution they propose to us when we meet like this, we have to look at them too. Thank you very much.
No, some of the solutions don't work. Is that what you're saying? Be very specific.
Yes, some of the solutions I can discuss, but because of the timing. For instance,
my name is Osman Mustafa from Tachiman. Okay. Tachiman, our area, is noted for good quality cashew production. But of late, this is what we realize.
Our cashew nut these days comes in small sizes, meaning the cashew nut has reduced in its size to a very smaller size these days. One way the days it used to be very big, but now we have a challenge on that. The other one we would like to talk about is high rate of deterioration of our produce, particularly on vegetable and our tuber crops. Meaning some few hours after harvest, you see that this produce begins to go bad. So it's also a challenge. I think my colleagues also mentioned of standard scaling. This is also a national issue that they have to look at it for us. My colleagues from Agra also mentioned of hard soil surface. Our area is also having that challenge. After raining just a few hours, you see that the surface of the soil becomes very hard to work with. So that one too is a challenge. We have some irrigation site that is left to be a white elephant. It is not on use. So if it can be put to use for us, I think we'll be much grateful on that. We also have a problem with silent soil. Our soil is quite full of salinity, so that one too is a challenge we are still battling with. If you have something you can add. All right, I think these are the few challenges we are also having on board. Thank you.
Thank you, Teshiman. Wenchi, and join us.
My name is Osei Kobi Solomon, and my farmer's name is Moses. Most of the points that we want to mention have already been mentioned by our colleagues, but I just want to go through quickly. We have these irregular rainfall patterns. We have high or increasing temperatures these days. We also sometimes experience temporary droughts, and there's this declining of soil fertility due to continuous cropping on the same piece of land. Dr. Bua, cashew is taking over our land. Now every farmer is going to cashew production, and our land size for growing crops and vegetables and other cereals are becoming smaller. Now if you want to go into vegetables and cereals and other crops, you have to move far places before you can get land. We have a rising of pest and disease attack on our crops, especially garden eggs and tomatoes, then cashew. There's this type of pest that is a black coric bug, that is Anoplegnemis cavipis, that attacks cashew these days, which is causing a decrease in yield. And there's this disease also suspected to be Fusarium wilt disease or bacterial wilt disease that is affecting our garden eggs and tomatoes. I have a lot of pictures that I will show you in the course of the day. We also experience Fulani herdsmen during the dry season and the bushfires also during the dry season. And these days too, our smaller streams and rivers are also drying up due to activities of farmers. They farm too very close to the river bodies and also cut down all the trees. These are the challenges that we are having in Wenchi municipality. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there any district that we haven't called yet? We are all here. I want to give opportunity to, if there's any challenge in your district that we haven't covered. I've seen two hands. Afaja too. Okay. Okay, so I've seen three. So we will call, I've seen only three. Are there other ones? Okay, so the three will come. I've seen a fourth one. Then we also give the opportunity to the media guys around us, or with us. They have been also working with farmers or listening to farmers on radio or through other means. So they also will share with us if there are other issues that is not covered yet. So I'll start with Afajato. You have more issues that is not covered. Okay. Just two more. Okay, you come here.
Please, I want to plead with you. I thought that this, when it comes to rice production, in Volta region, if not number one, then I don't know. But power tillers, I've not seen somebody talk about it.
Equipment.
Yes, power tillers and combined harvesters. We are only pleading that if there will be some subsidy for our farmers are ready to buy.
They are not adequate.
They are not adequate. Not adequate at all. So at the end of the day, they farm big, but the losses very big. Everything dries up.
But the harvester too.
Yes, combined harvesters.
Even shredder can be shredded.
Okay, so equipment, lack of equipment. I wouldn't really say lack. It may be there, but not adequate equipment. Okay, so KJP. Okay. Where are the other hands? There was a hand here. Okay.
Thank you. I think what I'm here to say is a very challenge in the KJB district. Though it's good, but then in the future, I think it's likely to cost the district and then the country as a whole. You know now, although maize is a cash crop and then food crop as well, but then in the KJB district, I think if I wouldn't, in Oti region, if I wouldn't lie, KJB is leading in ginger production. Now ginger is taking over the maize production in the KJB district because if a farmer has, let's say, 2 acres, he would prefer to use 1.5 to cultivate ginger and then use the ½ acre to cultivate maize. And then indirectly, it looks like that ½ acre is going to be for only home consumption. So it means that the farmer would not be able to sell. And then if these things should continue in the long run, we are likely to suffer in the maize aspect as far as the food production is concerned. So I think this is a challenge that, though the ginger is fetching them money because 1 bag of ginger was going for 450 to 500, and they are making a lot of money from it. But then in the long run, I think it has certain challenges that as a country we are likely to face. Thank you.
Wait. Hello. Yes, I mean this is not peculiar to where she's coming from. Ginger taking over maize field. We also have cases where cashew is also taking over our maize fields. Okay.
And to emphasize on what she said, I was watching a documentary yesterday which I shared, and the road network in the northern Tripoli is causing farmers to send their produce to neighboring countries, Togo and Benin. So just to emphasize, she is a time traveler, she's going into the future, so we want you both to help us. Thank you.
Okay, so how many hands more? 2 more? Okay, so you be the last one. Are you together or different issues? Okay, you finish yours.
Thank you. We also lack...
Which district?
Asante Achim. We also lack rice threshing machine. There is a rice called Amankwatia. It is difficult to thresh, and for that matter, we are pleading with you to do something for us.
Rice threshing machine for the Amankwatia.
There's a rice.
Okay. Yeah.
2 more?
No, 2 more. 2, yeah, and then the media will talk. Yeah.
Thank you very much. My challenge is on the tree crop at our area. Our place we're growing cocoa, but now due to climate change, it's not favoring the cocoa again. So now farmers are changing from cocoa to cashew. So this challenge is really affecting us. If you are a crop or a farmer and then you are producing crop, you have to consider something we call crop diversification. You don't have to concentrate on only one crop. So if things are being
okay, so moving from monoculture to other crops.
Please, I want to mention 4 army web.
4 army web.
Yes, it has been a very challenging incident in our district. Every year, we need to tackle it every year. And then we don't seem to have any solution except using of insecticide. We also have soil nematodes in most of the soils around, affecting vegetables and then yam. We also don't have inadequate government subsidized input. The inputs are not adequate at all. Please, I don't know whether GASIP looks at animal farming, or do you look at it? Because since we have challenges every year with this, how do you call it? The challenge with the birds every year. Yeah, so we have poultry. Yes, I'm talking about local birds. Almost every year, we have challenge with Newcastle, and then there are goats and sheep. We also have the sickness coming in every year. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. For Amiwem, I think I heard about. Are you sure it's really? We've been talking for 1 hour. Are there more new challenges that we haven't heard? You come. Yeah. I'm glad to hear for Amiwem. I think we have been mentioning pests, but for Amiwem has been one of the major pests that we've been talking about. So I'm glad that you specifically mentioned the pest. You'll be the last one.
My name is government subsidize fertilizer, seeds, and so on. It's ineffective and it delays before reaching the farmers.
Okay, so delay in fertilizer input supply. Okay, now like I said, I want to call the 2 media houses with us, Graphic and also, okay, thank you very much. I think we've used a few hours or a little above the hour to find the challenges we encounter as a district, but not just as a district, but as almost as a country as a whole. Like I indicated from the beginning, when you were coming, you were supposed to consult your farmers or other colleagues to ensure that whatever you are coming to present here are the major issues that are on the ground. So we are going to take these challenges that we have covered as the issues that is on the ground. Anything that is not covered is likely not a major issue, or maybe it's just a specific or a location-specific issue. What we are going to do is we will let the facilitators run through the challenges that we've written so far, and then we ensure that we have covered them well, so that after lunch we can leave the rest to the facilitators to explain to us with yourself, your able self, one by one, the challenges, what can be done. And as we are discussing that, we want individuals to think about what they can do when they go back to their respective districts. And that can also feed into the action plans that you'll be drawing. Because the action plans that you're going to draw will be a plan or activity that will cover or mitigate or adapt to the challenges that we are mentioning here. So I'll be leaving the floor to our facilitators here to, like I said, recapture what we have indicated here, so that we all agree and ensure that whatever is captured here are the issues that has to be attended to after lunch. So,
thank you very much. Very cold. You know, people are talking about farmers going out of the maize planting, going out of the open contract. Is that what we get? All of us, we were several of us for now, if we are getting out of the do a good service for people in the community. And another person can create 2,000 for you. do a similar thing. You can hear me? Then I can do a little with your mic. Okay. All I'm saying is, be accused yourself. A lot of your problems, a lot of your challenges are solutions. You know that. Just as we have overlooked a lot, we are talking about action. So what we're going to do is run through, put together all that we have talked about. So that, like the one said, what we come in the afternoon, we will then go pick these ones and get you to appreciate that there are solutions right at our fingertips. You know that. In general, we are looking outside for things to happen. So be at peace with yourself. There are very few things that will have to carry away, and those that cannot be measured, and you know that goes to the politicians, and you will get that. Okay, so we are looking at the weather, and everybody is talking about rivers dry, all of those are happening. So the very first thing that we have encountered here has been the erratic nature of rainfall, which is affecting our farm to the extent that seasons are shifted and seasons are made. We are experiencing this as a result of what? Rainfall. And so there, we can put the whole lot together and talk about rainfall. The right nature of rainfall. And we'll be talking about what there is to do to be able to stand up to these challenges. So, changing cropping patterns, changing of individual species of crops that we are planting, that is right there. Because we're relating that to the weather, and we have our colleagues here to throw a lot more light into what is happening and what's to be expected. We also have issues of self-fertility. We're talking about declining self-fertility. So a lot of the things that could be put under the declining self-fertility. These are broad areas that are taken care of. A lot of the things that we spoke about. We have issues with the soil. Compaction. We have it. There are issues with soil compaction, and we know the consequences. So those are some of the things coming up. The flags are there. We talked about it, and somebody was talking about the seed use. It's all about the flags coming in, destroying the vegetable. And if you had it right, one was talking about the traditional vegetable giving way to exotic ones. And right now, that is what people will do, because if the long-season ones are not making it because of the prices now, right now they plant with everyone. But if they do that, they do not consume that, and the people who buy clearly out of the thing. So we're talking about the grass, we're talking about silage. In some areas, we have silage. There was a whole lot having to do with pests and disease and drinking and wine. We spoke about rodents and what are they doing? Picking seeds and eggs. Some people are talking about several matters. We have a farm, what are we working, and that is real. And if we have it right, relating that to what we experience with the trees and what we experience with the dry tell you more about someone who follows this season. Vegetables. Firstly, this is vegetable mango Nkawie. The words, very rare. Terminal words, very rare in mango Nkawie. Very rare. About the humidity in our farms and what is it that we do to ensure that this farm becomes so arid so that naturally we are able to gain out the local potential in these farms. We were worried about the transition from plantation, from food crop farm to plantation agriculture. That is here. And when we come back, we'll be trying to get this ground to say what there is to do to transition from the food crop farm to plantation agriculture so that we don't suffer. So transitioning from the food crop farm to plantation agriculture. Second, people are putting out their first practice. What is it that they're going to do? Because you cannot be practice. You cannot be practice for papers or that is needed. There are people who bring people and practice and you have never so there have been a whole lot of things to talk about. And as we get into this process, we'll be looking deep into some of the full animals in our head. Causes of agric. We have problems with the road, soil erosion, we'll tie that to soil fertility. Now, machinery. We have people talking about labor, and that labor is so difficult to find. And in the absence of labor, there is also inadequate machinery. For several processes, we're talking about manufacturing, we're talking about harvesting, people are talking about tractors for holding the land, people are talking about machines for seeding, and then machines for processing, harvesting rice, and then processing. We also have the issue related to the production life of our farm produce. We had somebody was talking about a farm produce. You harvest and the next 2-3 days the produce begins to go back. And so what is happening? What has happened in our soil? So that we putting in there that is possible. You have to go into that and see what we do. But above all, we also have the problem of storage. Poor storage facilities. Our maize is infested with aflatoxin. And we know aflatoxin is very bad. Is there anything that we can do on farm to be able to reduce the infestation of aflatoxin? For sure.
Thrown at us is erratic rainfall. What I would want to ask in attempting to answer the question is it that indeed are we having erratic rainfall? Is it true that we're having erratic rainfall? Okay, so when we say erratic rainfall here, what are we talking about? Are we saying that the amounts we used to have has decreased? Are we saying now we have more extreme events? Are we saying the season has shifted from where it used to be? Erratic in what sense? That would be what I would say. God willing on Thursday, just as Doc said, we will have enough time to interrogate some data sets from some of the districts we have here.
we will look at our data from 1981 through to this period and see whether indeed the rainfall patterns are changing. Whether what we see is what is really captured by the data. Because I can stand here and I can say, yes, it is changing. No, it is not changing. But I want you yourself to find out, after you've gone through your data, if it is Achumangwa Beja, we go through the data of Nkawie, for instance, then we will really appreciate whether indeed the rainfall patterns especially is becoming erratic, or some other factors are contributing to what we are seeing, or probably we are perceiving something that is really not as true as maybe we want to believe. So that would be my response to the first question. So I will leave you, still think about it. The rainfall is erratic. We'll deal with it thoroughly on Thursday by analyzing data. That would be the first one. The same thing also to the shifting seasons. You know, I was having a chit-chat with my brother when all the districts were presenting. One clear thing that I saw, and again we'll look at the data, interrogate the data to see whether it is true, is that those of you who are coming from Wenchi, Sunyane, Kentampo, Atebu, all those areas, you are beginning to see a certain pattern of the way your seasonality is. Is it a banda also inclusive? Is this something that is becoming the new norm? Is it that we are not seeing it clearly? Is the vegetation changing? All these ones, we will try and analyze them, God willing, on Thursday with the data. And after those exercises, I'm sure we'll all come here and conclude that indeed the seasons are changing or the rainfalls are becoming erratic. So that will be my response for. I think it ties into even the third question. Then the fourth one, the same thing. The rainfall, the temperatures and things will speak for themselves. But one important question also that I want all of us to ask ourselves is the climate indeed changing? It has become something that we always say, climate change, climate change, climate change. I don't deny the fact that the climate is changing. I will not say it is not changing. But when we take the parameters of the climate here in Ghana, in our various districts, is the climate really changing? And when we say the climate is changing, exactly what are we talking about? If I observe a scenario 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, is it conclusive enough for me to draw the inference that climate is changing in my area? Couldn't it also be due to some factors, what we call anthropogenic causes, that are also introduced within my surroundings that is creating these challenges or problems for me? So on Thursday, we'll have enough time to delve into all these ones and we'll answer the questions ourselves. Thank you very much.
Yes, so before we leave this, I don't know if there's anything to add to. Well, okay, so he left us with certain questions. Has the climate really changed? No, so please, when we come back tomorrow, when we do an in-depth analysis of climate issues, please keep all these at the back of your mind. And then we will come back to all those because, like you said, they're going to present data to just help us to be very clear with regards to the first. I wonder why people are surprised about this. If really we have appreciated the changing weather pattern. I mean, agriculture is all about what? We need sunlight, we need rainfall. And so, when there is a change in these two, that brings about several other things. And you see, definitely there has got to be a change. Now, several of us knew that cocoa was growing in Kintampo, coming down. But now, as you even come to Akumada, towards Kumasi from Kintampo, coming from the transition to the forest, cashew is taking over. Why? It's related to the weather. And so, if you cannot plant crop A because of the changing weather pattern, what will you do as a farmer? You will not sit down and quench. You definitely will have to plant something that will be good enough for you. Now people are talking about fall armyworm. We haven't gotten there. But you see, someone mentioned it. When it is raining excessively, continuously, what happens? The menace, it comes down. But when it keeps drying up like it is now in our area here, it comes up. And that tells you that fall armyworm is a pest that thrives best in warm environments. And that is why we have to be very careful, because we didn't have it. Now that it has come, it's going to stay. It has come to stay, whether we like it or not. Because from January to December, conditions are so good for fall armyworm to be endemic. But still, looking at this is terrible. Still talking about the changing cropping pattern. Well, certain crops do best or do better in fertile soils. And so when conditions begin to go back, when by our own actions, together with changing weather patterns, begin to change a lot of things, what will happen? You definitely will have to change, because the crops that have been the traditional crops, that which were favored by the previous conditions, might not be favored by the current conditions, and therefore definitely things have to change. But then, if the changing cropping pattern has to do with people's interest, that is where we begin to have consent. And we are not in the north, but if we should talk about what happened in Paga, Navrongo Paga area there, we know that sorghum and millet are very resilient to the climate in terms of the weather being very hot, infertile soils. People still were having good yield from sorghum and millet because they are crops that can tolerate a lot of water stress, and they are very efficient in mining nutrients. So they can thrive on minimal amounts of nutrients. But then there was a USAID project promoting maize, giving credit for the production of maize. And every farmer wanted credit, stopped growing millet, sorghum, and went for maize. And the maize